In this video, I'm going to photograph a Frank Gehry-designed building in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Stick around, I'm going to show you how I shot it, and I'll show you how I processed one of the images in Photoshop. Let's get started. Well, I am in Cambridge, Massachusetts. I was in town for a meeting, and I brought my camera and tripod to shoot one building. And that is a building called the Status Center. It's on the MIT campus, designed by one of my favorite architects, Frank Gehry, who unfortunately recently passed away. Let me turn the camera around. I'm going to show you what I am looking at. So if you look up, it's a very typical Gehry-esque building, metal clad, great geometric shapes, and as you look down further at this building, other parts of it are also really interesting. I don't think I could get this whole building in one shot, and there's some distracting elements in the foreground with these trees, but I'm going to maybe take various shots of different parts of it, see what I come up with. Also, the sky is starting to look a little interesting. What I want to see are really white defined clouds against a blue sky with movement, and then I can do a long exposure and create some drama that way. But let me get my camera set up and start shooting. I'm shooting in portrait orientation to get much of this building in there. I've got my wide angle lens, my 16 to 35 millimeter lens, and one issue I have is that the sky is a little bit brighter than parts of the building, and the highlights of the building are also brighter than the shadows. So I am going to take shots with different exposures, blend them together in Photoshop. Pretty cool. Well, I'm going to just move down the street a little bit and get from a different angle, because you just never know the way the light is hitting this, how it's going to look. Also, from this angle, somewhat fewer distractions. Yeah, this is pretty cool. Oh man, it's just such a cool building. Again, I'm going to do different exposures just so I can get more data in there, and I can blend together in Photoshop so I have options. Well, I came down the street a little bit just to get kind of more of the building in. It's not as dramatic. Unfortunately, it's a very long building, and I just can't move back very far, so I can't get the whole thing in with a wide angle lens. From this angle, you do see everything, but this just might be the kind of building that you shoot in different parts. Walk down the street a little bit. You know, I photographed a lot of Frank Gehry buildings. I'll put up some shots now that I've taken. I think I've done 5 or 6. And when I discover a new one, it's so exciting. And so it's really just fun to be here and try to get shots of this amazing building. I also, by the way, put up a video not that long ago of all my Frank Gehry buildings, just after he passed away, which was back in December, I think. I put out a video. I'll put a link to that down below if you want to check it out. Well, I walked down the street a little bit to see this other part of the building, which I think is really cool. Again, very Gehry-esque. Let me turn the camera around. I'll give you a better sense of what I'm looking at. So you can see this part is really neat. And I'm in a spot where there's no trees in front, so pretty clean shot of it, which is nice. And this one, I think, in post is going to be fun to play around with, given the curves and the geometric shapes. A little dirty here and there. I don't think I need to clean it up, but I think this might be my favorite part of the building. So I came down closer to the curve and I'm shooting horizontal, so I'm getting kind of this structure here and this bit here with that nice color in the middle. This might be the winning shot. I think this is super cool. Well, I am getting some somewhat interesting clouds in the sky, and they are moving. So I put my neutral density filter on, and what that does, it darkens the scene dramatically. This is a 10-stop filter, so that allows me to use a much longer exposure. Right now I'm using 30 seconds, and I'm at ISO 100, f11. I could go up to f22, use a longer exposure. I don't know if it's going to help me that much, so I'm going to stay in this neighborhood for a little bit, get some shots. I am using a remote shutter release as well, just so I don't have to touch the camera. And I think this will add to the drama if I get some cool cloud movement up above. We'll see. The sky is not as interesting as I would have hoped, honestly. And now it's getting brighter, so I have to increase my f-stop or close my aperture a bit just to darken things. Kind of a wide dynamic range. I'm not sure how patient I'm going to be. I still have to pick up my car in Boston, drive to my cousin's house for dinner tonight, so I don't know. I'll stay a little bit longer. Well, I think I got some pretty good shots. I'm not going to know till I get them on the computer. You've seen some already. If you're not into Photoshop, I would sign off here. Thanks for watching. Make sure you give the video a like, a thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future videos. If you're into Photoshop, stick around. I'm going to bring you onto my computer and show you how I process one of these images in Photoshop. Okay, I am on my computer back home, and this is the image I want to work on. What I want to do is show you how I turn this image into this image. Now, I've done some work in Lightroom already. Converted to black and white, changed some of the colors. Didn't do too much, honestly. I think I cleaned up a couple things in the foreground, but really not, again, not too much. And really, to edit this, I'm using various selections, which I have already made. So I use the polygonal lasso tool to make selections, a series of straight lines basically. And I selected the sky at different parts of the building. Now, when I did that, I made the selection. I went up to select. I hit save selection. It's grayed out now because I don't have anything selected, and thought of a name for it. So now when I want to use that selection, I hit load selection, and I'll have my options over here. So for example, I started with the sky. Now, I want that building to pop a little bit more, and in general, if you darken the sky a little bit, create some contrast, it will do that. So I'm going to use a curves adjustment layer. And so with the curve up, to darken it, obviously you want to pull down. And so again, this is just going to affect the sky. And you can see it's getting moodier already. If you want to make a little bit more contrast, on the upper right, you can pull up a little bit, and that will brighten the highlights. And so you could play with this kind of to taste, but this is kind of where I ended up. So here's the before, kind of flat. Here's the after. Again, you're seeing some definition. This was a long exposure. The clouds were moving. You see some streaks, not perfect, but. Now, with the pieces of the building, with the stuff right in front of us, those white curved metal parts of the building, I want to brighten them up a little bit and accentuate the curvature as well. And I'll show you how I do that. So let me pick one of the pieces. I forget what I called all this stuff, but lower right curve. And so if I click that, you can see my selection. Again, I'm going to use a curves adjustment layer. Pull that up. So to brighten it, again, you want to pull up. But to accentuate the curvature of that building, what you want to do is really just brighten up the middle part of that piece, of that selection. So I'm going to pull up, and that's going to brighten the whole selection. You see it's becoming nice and bright. I can then reselect it. I go to select, reselect, and what I want to do is use the gradient tool. So I'm going to click on the gradient tool, and specifically I'm going to use the reflective gradient tool, which is here. I want my foreground color to be white, which it is, and I'm going to pull out from the middle, and you'll see what happens is that middle portion becomes brighter. And so if I'm going to deselect by hitting Command D, but you can see here's the before, here's the after. And by doing that, it accentuates the curvature a little bit. So here's the before, here's the after. With the piece on top of that, let's see what I called it. Select, load selection. I called it upper right curve. This one, I actually want to darken it a little bit, but again, have the middle a little bit brighter. And so what I want to do is really darken the edges. And why do I want to darken it? Well, I want to add some contrast to it. There's a contrast between this piece, the one below it, and that white panel kind of behind it. And so I'm going to use the curves adjustment layer. I'm going to pull down, and so that darkens the entire selection, but I just want the edges to be darker. So again, I'm going to reselect. I'm going to choose my gradient tool. This time I want the foreground color to be black. So if I pull out from the middle, what'll happen is that outside, if I do a really short one, you can see it really dramatically, right? The outside is darker, that middle portion is kind of what I had before, and you want to get a nice gradient, something like that. So here's the before, kind of flat, here's the after. Adds the curve, but it darkens the outside, which adds some contrast. I'm going to Command D by hitting deselect. And I did the same thing with these curves on the right, these curved facades on the right, on the left, excuse me. I'll do one more. Let's see, I'll do top left curve. So it's that one up on top, and I'm going to do a curves adjustment layer. I'll pull up, that'll brighten the whole thing. And then reselect and choose my gradient tool, and I want my foreground color to be white, and this time I'll pull out from the middle, and you get that nice brightness. And you could always accentuate that more by darkening the outside. So if I choose another curves adjustment layer, by the way, I could pull down, which is darkening the whole selection right now, but if I reselect, got my gradient tool selected, foreground color black, because I want the outside to be darker. I can do that. And so here's the before I did anything, kind of flat. Here's the outside. Really highlights the curvature and brightens up that middle piece. Command D. I did play around with some of the pieces on the left, over here on the left of the building, with the other part of the building. And so let me just do a couple. And it was basically just trying to create a little contrast, brighten up some of those pieces. Let's see, one of my called shiny panel ones. You could see that selection that I made. And this is pretty simple. I just wanted to brighten it up and create some contrast. And again, you could play with this to taste, right? This is all how you see it. One thing I did, those overhangs down there, I did brighten those up as well. So let me load those selections. I thought I called them lower left overhangs. And again, just to create a little bit of contrast. The light was very flat that day, so if the light was kind of coming from behind me, it would have brightened up parts of this building. So if I brighten those up, again, it's adding some contrast. But at the end of the day, let me get rid of all the changes I made. At the end of the day, what I came up with was this. And again, it really highlights the features of the building more than I would have had with that, again, very flat light. darkens the sky a bit, and I find this to be a bit more artistic. I could have done this 100 different ways, and I'm sure if you approach it, you would do it differently as well. But here's just one approach and some of the tools I use to achieve it. Hey, if you like this video, just make sure you hit the like button. It's pretty easy. And if you like this kind of content, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future videos. Just hit 10,000 subscribers. Very excited. On my way to 100,000. Let's hope so. Take care, everybody.